Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Sunday Father's Day special, BareRose Garage Pickup Live. Almost couldn't get that all out. Oh, who we all got in here? We got Justin Hill. Great to see you, man. And of course, we got our good friend up in Norway, Eric. What's going on? Twisted Mopar, or oh, excuse me. What's going on, man? Good to see you. So, like I said, happy Father's Day. Got it rolling down here on the ticket taker to all the dads out there. Great, a great day for a great bunch of people. Celebrated our Father's Day early. Took Dad out to the big swap meet. It's kind of a big swap meet around here because it's about our only one that's all automotive oriented. Big swap meet, car show, everything. They moved it to a new venue this year for the first time since the 70s. The city done kicked us out finally, so they had to move it to another little small town, but it was a great turnout anyway. But got to spend the whole day with Dad, and we got enough drivers to take all of the cars out to the car show, so it was a good day. I mean, I got burnt. You can see, oof, I got fried. Sun was out, and so was the wind, but it was a good day nonetheless. Philip the Third, what's going on? Great to see you, man. You're sneaking it in there, Colleen. Mama of the M3. Triple M. What's going on, Colleen? Great to see you. Took me a second there. It almost got me. So, as you've seen in the description here, got a little something special coming up for this next week. We're going to roll Sir Rat back into the shop, and got some upgrades coming for it. Dad's a little too far off now to do another full build, but that doesn't mean we can't just tinker and play with some of the ones we've already done. And Sir Rat needs a little freshening up and a little bit of an attitude adjustment. That rat rod, it's our 1-ton dually rat rod is what it is. The one with the big block Ford, the 460 in it. I loaned him the tunnel ram for it. We're gonna stick that on it, and I'll get some video of him showing you. I'm kind of gonna give over the reins to him, and he can show us how he sets up tunnel ram and how he gets it all dialed in and all of that stuff. So we're gonna do that to it, and I've got another shifter for it, and I'm working on him. I think we're going to be putting a set of 456 gearing in it too. The way it is set up right now, for what we built that truck for, it's perfect. We built it to be an economical, as far as you can get on economical gas mileage out of a big block 460. We set it up for that. It's actually very tall geared, and well, we got it timed out and tuned down to run on 85 octane fuel. Now we're going to do a little changing on it and making her bark as big as its bite, if that makes sense. Right now, she'll run the freeway at 80 miles an hour, and she's only turning about 2,500 RPM. We did that on purpose, like I said, trying to get mileage out of it, and it worked for that experiment. And for what that truck does, it's perfect for what we built it for. But it kind of hurts a little bit on the performance side a little bit. Not that she's slow by any chance, but we're going to unlock a whole lot more potential inside of that big block Ford and give her some new life, if you will. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. I'll be doing my best to get the videos edited up real quick and get them popping out for you. But that's what I got going on. We're going to kind of extend Father's Day all weekend long and just do like a one more hoorah father-son kind of B&B BareRose and garage collaboration. So that's what I got going on. Anyway, so we got all through that. Windy in Idaho. Oh Lord, it was yesterday. The wind was brutal yesterday. Wasn't bad in the morning, but yeah, about as the afternoon rolled around, it was pretty rough. And at the car show, it was at the city park, and there's a bunch of baseball diamonds. And we were parked right next to one of them baseball diamonds. So every time that wind had come up, well, we kind of got sandblasted. Yeah, I'll dig through here and I'll pop up some pictures if I can find them here and try to do the share screen on it. Hot here, 96 now. Feels like 102. Holy cow. Yeah, it chilled off a little bit today. Well, it's creeping up towards 70 finally again. And we got Mr. John Wilburn leaning in here. Good to see you, John. The guy that come up with the No Name Nationals. The best group on all of YouTube. Everybody complains about the weather, but nobody wants to do anything about it. I tried to do something about it. Yeah, I put a shirt on. I put a jacket on. That's about all I can do about it. Turbo Tom, what's going on, man? Good to see you. At the swap meet, I found a couple of goodies. Found another engine stand. If you guys are like me, every time you see an engine stand, you grab that sucker. You're going to need it sometime or another. I got a complete collection of those things. One of these days, I'll actually figure out where to put all these engines I got that need all those engine stands. But I picked up an engine stand, two 50, well, even 49 to 53 Ford crest emblems. I picked up two more of them. The ones on my shoebox have broke, so I found two of them that are in really good shape, so that was a score. And a 5-point harness. Picked all of that up for $50. So that is a pretty good score. Met a bunch of new people, and it blew me away. A bunch of people that already knew me that I didn't know. People that watch the channel. It kind of was a little bit surprising there. Met another guy that I might be later on. I got to get with him, but he's looking to sell his 56 Pontiac Safari. It's the exact same thing as a Chevy Nomad. It's just the Pontiac version of it. And in my opinion, it's beautiful. I actually like it better than the Chevy, because you don't see too many Pontiac Safaris. You see a few Nomads every now and then, but the Safari got no love. But he's asked me to post it around, and he's going to be putting it up for sale. I can't tell you the price yet. He's still working on it, but I'll be doing some, well, once we can get together and collaborated, be doing some videos with him and showing you off some of his collection as well. He's got a whole mess of cars as well. And I'm working on him with a trade for a cab over. 56 Ford cab over, COE. Either that one or a 49 Chevy cab over. Either one. I was going to take one of them and stick it on my old square body. Well, either put it on the square body or what's left of that motorhome that I pulled the 460 out of, and building a ramp truck out of it. I'd love to have a Pontiac Safari. Jerry Lewis drove one. Yep. It's beautiful too. It's all been restored. They did LS swap it. I think it's an LT1 Ironhead LS. Kind of retro modded it, but they did it pretty tastefully. It's they left the interior alone. That doesn't have the stock gauge cluster like you see a lot of LS swaps, because you got to have the gauge cluster to run all of the stock ECUs and stuff. Doesn't have any of that. It's got the standalone unit, so you can run, and I think it's got a Dakota style dash in it, I believe. I can't remember. Once I do video on it, I'll really deep dive into it. He was parked next to us, but I was more interested in these little 29 Roadsters than the Safari. Mohawk, great to see you, man. Yeah, Pontiacs they're a little unique. In the 50s, they had kind of a funny looking front end, in my opinion, but they had those eyebrows over the headlights. That was the only weird quirk in them, but from the profile, oh, they're beautiful. The grill on them is beautiful, but that little eyebrow chrome above the headlight, it kind of set them off and made them a little different. I think that's why you don't hear too much about 50s Pontiacs. That and the Chevy just took all of the, hype. "57 degrees Fahrenheit. Now at 10 past midnight. Holy cow. You are daggone warm up there." I can fix the LS swap, put a Pontiac back in it. The kind of, it fits. I guess if you think about it in a warped sense of mind, an LS does kind of fit in a Pontiac because, well, the last Trans Ams did have the LS in them, and it was a real good LS to get your hands on. But it's one of those things you got to squint your eyes just right. Okay, it does work. Unless you're like me, then you put anything in the best engine to put in a car is the one that runs when you got it. A few buddies of mine had a Pontiac Safari. Way cool. Unfortunately, a lot of guys that were building Nomads, they scrapped a lot of Safaris because a lot of the parts will interchange. And the odd thing is that the Safari is actually more rare than the Nomad. So they killed a rare car to build a rare car, if that makes sense. Sidewinder, great to see you. I see you got that transmission. Yeah, when you go to put that back in, separate it. Definitely separate it. Trying to fight an automatic transmission in with that transfer case hanging off of it, kind of in that diagonal. Yeah, that's a 7th level of hell, trying to get everything lined up. And it always wants to twist and fall, to the transfer case side. Oh yeah, you'll fight that like no tomorrow, trying to get that up in there all in one piece. First thing I do when I do a job like that is separate that, and you buy the gasket. The gasket for the transfer case are, yeah, $10. And it's super simple to slid them back together once it's up there. And like you said in your video, trying to do that without a transmission jack, yeah, it ain't no fun. 4-wheel drives give you more room in there, but like I said, with that big heavy transfer case hanging off the side on that diagonal, it makes it as awkward as all get out. Yeah, don't see too many 50s Pontiacs. I think I've seen more Mopars from the 50s than I have Pontiacs. Buicks and Oldsmobiles for that, yeah, you don't see too many of them either. Well, everybody wants a 57, 58 Mopar, but 56, 55, I run into them every once in a while. Pontiacs, Buicks, Oldsmobiles, they're rare. Van Life Biker, great to see you, man. Speaking of vans, yeah, the van I've had my eye on for quite some time, since I was a kid. A good friend of mine ended up getting it, and it was advertised for free, and I missed it. But he actually gave the guy some money for it because he knew what it was. It was a 68. It's either 68 or 69 Dodge. I think it was the last year of the Bug-Eye Dodge, but it's a van. He ended up getting it. It's kind of across the kitty corner, across the block from where I grew up, where my dad is, sitting out in the field there, and I'll be dadgum if I didn't miss that one. But working on that one too. Possibly, I doubt it's going to happen, but possibly might get that one. I was gonna take it, and it's beyond rusted out. But I was gonna take it and cut it and make it a transporter, like the what, A series? I think it's the A series pickup looking things. I was thinking about doing something like that, or taking it and cutting it completely up out of the center, and bringing the back half of the van and the front snub nose part of the van, bringing them together, and then using that as the back, making a front engine dragster looking thing out of it. Set the engine out in front of it, the whole front end, but bring those two together, setting them over the rear axle. So you'd sit over the rear axle like a front engine dragster, and then build the frame out from there with the front end and the transmission sitting out in front of the front end of the car. I've seen one other one that was done that way, and Yeah, it looked pretty cool. Yeah, you kind of make a cab over, but you set it up over the rear axle instead of the front axle. And I kicked myself for missing that one because it was the perfect one for it. Because, like I said, it's rusted out beyond rusted out. The whole middle section is gone. So, yeah, you ain't hurting nothing by building something else out of it. But he did say that his dad's got a couple of others out in his Cody yard. So, if I don't get that one, no big deal. I'll probably end up dragging another one from Cody, Wyoming over into there. Bad news, the overdrive housing is cracked. Oh no! Cracked overdrive housing. That's common on them in a four-wheel drive that's been run with shot motor mounts and transmission mounts. They'll crack that overdrive housing right there when those go. So when you're digging around in the junkyard, if you want a better shot at finding a good one just visually, pop the hood and look down at the motor mounts. You can kind of see them there. Motor mounts, all the rubber's been pushed out of them. When you crawl under there to look to see if the overdrive unit, is worth pulling out, that's the first sign to check for cracks before you go through all the work of trying to pull one out. Little red flag things I've learned. I do believe I remember correctly, the Safari my buddy had was an 80s Pontiac version of the Caprice. Oh, okay. It was like a European hang-on from the Safari, huh? Oh, cool. Just wanted to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers. I'm headed out to finish the pond. I'm digging in the backyard. Oh, digging a pond. Boy, got your work cut out for you. Thanks for coming in, and right back to you, man. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Mine is a 2006 Dodge Sprinter. Emblem is the only thing that's Dodge. It's all Mercedes, including the diesel motor. Yeah. Yeah, when Dodge sold, there was a lot of cross-pollination going on there. That was when Daimler, however you say it. I've heard good things about those, though. What's for dinner? Oh, tonight, leftovers. Great seeing you, Philip. Thanks for coming on in. I just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in. Kenny Rogers, when he was before he was country. Well, what the heck was the name of that group that he was in? They had a couple other songs too. That was their biggest hit, though. A lot of people don't know that Kenny Rogers was actually kind of rock, pop, disco before he was country, and That was one of his better songs. I'm digging with a 23 horsepower diesel mini massive Fergus. There you go. Sure beats bad doing it with the shovel. I tell you what. That backhoe that I built, man, I'll tell you what, that is one of the best tools I ever made. There you go, the 5th edition. To me, as a European, the Dodge Sprinter didn't make no sense, huh? Where's cousin Mike? I don't know. I ain't seen him today. He's probably out hanging out with his dad. No problem, Philip. Like I said, thanks for stopping in. The first edition? That's what it was, the first edition? I remember edition was in there somewhere. Yeah, Kenny Rogers was a lot more talented than what people gave him credit for. Of course, he got a lot of credit too. Been digging and carving for 2 weeks. It's not huge, but it's going to be over 2,000 gallons. Oh, sweet. Digging it deep enough to get below frost too. That's the hard part here, digging one deep enough so it don't completely freeze over. I've thought about doing one here because I'm at the end of the ditch line, so I got no way to shut my irrigation ditch off because I'm at the end of the line and it just deadheads at me. So I get a whole bunch of runoff, and the very back corner of my property is just swamp from the irrigation, the leftover irrigation water. I was kind of kicking around the idea of taking that backhoe out there and just digging as deep as I can possibly dig, and just a place for that water to go. And then throwing some sunfish in it, probably some largemouth don't do very good up here, but smallmouth bass will, if you can get it deep enough that they don't winter kill in the freeze. And they take care of the mosquitoes. Stock it with some smallmouth and some bluegill. They do wonders of keeping the skeeters down. It's pronounced, I still can't pronounce it. My tongue will not allow me to say that. Freightliner had one in those years too. It was a money for an emblem. Yeah, your front line is an 18-inch, and I'm 42 in the deepest part. Or frost line. So just like any other of my lives, it is an open mic. I got my little link posted up there at the top. If you want to climb on in, hit the link button up there and climb on in. We'll talk about anything or anything. Daimler. I hope I got it right there. Mercedes. I don't mess with too much anything that says Mercedes on it. Mercedes tend to overcomplicate everything. Almost as bad as BMW. Or I guess I should say BMW almost overcomplicated like Mercedes did. Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. I don't remember what year that was. European cars are hard to hit years on because they would run the same body styles for a long time. It was in the early 90s, late 80s. Mercedes, a friend of mine had. It was having electrical issues, big time, miscommunications. It was crazy. Come to find out, it was electronic sensors in the back shocks. And it was confusing the transmission. It was confusing everything on the car. It was the back shock. Can you? The asphalt company had a Case Construction King tractor with a bucket and backhoe. I ended up having all lines remade and replaced the rest. It was a huge, it was a huge job and a big expense. Yep, every hydraulic hose, you can pretty much count on $100 bill a piece. It was perfect after that. That's the hardest thing about anything hydraulic is, yeah, blowing a line is one thing, but it'll suck your tank dry and blow every little bit of your hydraulic fluid out of there. Well, there's a $100 bill. Just putting more hydraulic fluid back in it. Then you got another $100 bill per hose. So yeah, they're fun when they work, but yeah, they're a whole lot of fun when they don't. Mercedes diesels run forever. They've been building diesels forever. Yep. And the European market really embraced the diesel engine there for a long time. Here over in the States, it took us a while I'd have to say it was until Dodge pushed out their new body style back in, what was it, 94, 95, with the Cummins turbo diesel. When they made that new imprint with the new body style with the turbo Cummins, everybody went diesel. Before that, we all had that toe jerk moment from the 80s diesel attempt here in the States, and it failed miserably. Speaking of weird symptoms, one Volvo taxi put on a spare tire, the dashboard lights went out. The boot won't open. For a spare tire, yeah. They put on the tire. See if I can diagnose this on the fly here. They probably run with the donut on it. Yeah, and it confused the body control module, which made the dash light go all kinds of goofy. Yeah. I can see that. Running on the donut will do that with, especially with an all-wheel drive. Why they put a donut, you know, the little space saver spare tire in an all-wheel drive vehicle is beyond me. That they should put a full-size regular tire for a spare tire on those, because if you run even just a little bit of different size on one tire, yeah, it'll do all kinds of stuff like you say in here. It'll cause your check engine light to come on. It'll cause transmission to bind up, shift funny. It'll crab as you're going. Yeah, it's just weird. The total bill for the overhaul was cheaper than all the hydraulic fluid they used in the past year. Lord, I know that. Yeah. And speaking of which, I got to get another bucket of hydraulic oil. One of these days, you know, I'll actually fix some of the leaks in that dang thing. Nah. I had a few old tractors in the past. I was lucky selling them for more than I paid. I bought this Massey Ferguson new for $25,000, 0% interest for 7 years. Oh, sweet. Around here, oh, it was 5 years ago, just right about the time they had the chip shortage. Everybody here went new tractor. And during that chip shortage, oh, tractors were breaking down. Machinery in general, farm machinery was breaking down like no tomorrow. And it plugged everything up because there's only a certain, you know, and everything's proprietary information. So you got to have the dealer tech come out and service and fix all of these things. Well, when they all went down, boy, you could sell non-computerized tractors, you know, the older stuff, big bucks, big bucks. There was a huge market here for a short little while. Any kind of used tractors. Now all the farmers kind of caught on to all of that, and well, they're keeping a whole bunch of their old stuff that always runs. Tim Windsor, what's going on? Great to see you, man. And it looks like we got LP Lars gliding on in here. What's going on, Mr. Lars? Good to see you. You got JB rolling around out there somewhere? That was funny. He put up that sharpening video, the lawnmower blades sharpening video. As I was changing the blades on my lawnmower, I just come in from mowing the yard with the new blades on it. And I caught his video on that. That was pretty cool. Bought it with the backhoe that comes off. Picked up a brush hog for 500 bucks. The hook's on the 3-point. Love this little tractor. Way cool. I got a brush hog for mine too, but I got to get a spindle for it. One spindle is gone. It's just not even there. But that's why I picked it up for, I actually picked it up for 50 bucks. I figured I could find a spindle. The spindle is what the blades fit on. I figured I'd find a spindle somewhere for it that I'd get to work for it. And one of these days I'll actually get it up and going. I've had it for about 4 years now, sitting out back. Let's see, get caught back up here. Hope I didn't miss any of you. I watch Diesel Creek, and I have learned that hydraulic hoses are expensive, even without owning one myself. Oh, Lord, they are. I've actually kind of been looking into getting my own crimper so I can make my own lines. But they want an arm and a leg for that crimper, too. But the biggest expense is actually the fittings. The hose is actually the cheap part of it. But good Lord, those JIC fittings, they are flat spendy. Got to get back to mowing, huh? Oh, great to see you, Mr. Lars. Yeah, like I said, it was just ironic that I had just done that. Well, I didn't sharpen them. Well, they couldn't have been sharpened. They were. I think the whoever had that mower before was mowing gravel with it. So I just replaced all the blades. They were done. But if any of you are interested on how to sharpen a lawnmower blade, and actually JB shows you the same way that I've always done it. Go watch JB's Little Shop, the sharpest guy on YouTube. His last video on how to do it. I actually like his balancer though. Mine's a little tabletop one that you set the blade on and it just wiggles this way. His is one that mounts up on the wall, and it's cool. Go check him out. I'd actually never seen one of those ones. Of course, I'm not into that stuff. Mowing the yard is one of my least favorite things to do. But I've never seen one that mounts on the wall or the way that he balances them. That's pretty cool. That's the beauty of the mini tractor. No chips and no depth. That's right. New, but it's still old school, still mechanically injected. That's what my little Massey is. I love that thing. I was always kind of nervous about diesel because I worked with gasoline all my life. Diesel, I just change oil and service them. That's all we ever did with them. Never really deep dove into them until I got a tractor. And then I found out, oh Lord, old diesel with mechanical injection is beyond simple and just easy to work on. I don't know why I was scared of it before. It's cheaper to get hydraulic lines made by a place instead of getting the actual hose from the dealer. Literally half the cost. I've been looking around at that. The cheap hose that I can find, I actually a little skeptical of it. The stuff that I'm getting, there I have them all done up locally here. Our O'Reilly's, they say that they do hydraulic lines, but yeah, they only go to well, everything that I got is too big for O'Reilly's. I'll put it that way. So I got to run clear to the city, but they do a really good job. And like you said, the hose that they use is still U.S. made, and I trust it a lot more. All the stuff that I'm looking at on the net, the bulk hose that you buy, with all the troubles we're having with rubber as it is, yeah, I don't know if I want to like you said, put up the expense to get the crimper, and you got to get a quality crimper at that. Like you said, it's probably not even worth it. For me, yeah, I'll email you. I think I got your number. Yeah, if you want, after the live's over, go ahead and give me a call if you want. I'd be happy to yak at you. And the beauty of a mini tractor too is you can get them into tight little spots. Let's see. After you have the new lines, new hydraulic hoses made cap ends and soak it overnight in UV protectant if it's exposed to sunlight. You know, I've never done that. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Problem is when I break it though, I'm usually right in the middle of doing something. So it's a hurry up to town, have them make it, jump back, throw it on, throw hydraulic fluid back in there, and hurry up and get the job done. Because it does. The sun is the biggest killer on them, and they're out in the open and exposed to the elements. Yeah. But on mine, I got the, what's it called? Oh, I forget who makes it, and I can't read it from here. It's called a 4-in-1 bucket on my backhoe. It opens. If you roll it all the way up, it's a dozer blade. Or you can clamp it down, and it's a regular bucket. You know, just relax it down and lock it in, and it's a regular bucket on the front. Or you can use it it's got prongs on the side that you can use it for a grabber as well. So you can go out and pick up logs or pick up waste or whatever with it. It's a real versatile bucket if I hook the hydraulic lines up to make the bucket go up and, you know, open and close like a clamshell. I got to run new lines to that, and I got to run it to a separate valve because I changed the valve body, valve controls on it, and I don't have a valve for that ram. But I think I'm going to take your advice on that because that's something that I don't really need, and they're long hoses right out front where they're extremely exposed. I think I'm going to take your advice on that and have them made up and just soak them overnight in, like you said, the UV protecting, and see what happens. See if I can get them to last a little longer. Six BT and 4BT Cumminses are magic. I love those things, especially the 12 valve. But I love the 12 valve because it's mechanical. The first generation 24 valve isn't too bad because they're super simple electronics. But the second gens, 24 valve, the second generation 24 valve Cummins, they started getting a little complicated with their electronic injection and all that. Sweet, Tim. I'll look at it here in just a little bit. Diesels aren't what they used to be. Yep, ever since what was it, VW, the Dieselgate they called it. Yeah, they kind of started the clamp on them, and I blame all the coal rollers that really thumbed the nose and put a big old middle finger to everybody. All those guys that love to just roll coal on every intersection. The stupidest thing I ever seen. The governments all got tired of all of that, and they slapped a big old iron fist down on diesel. And yeah, now the diesels that you get now are absolutely nothing what they used to be. Get a beater and a new GMC pickup. They're all diesel. Love my diesels. If you're towing, there ain't nothing better than a diesel. Keep those Benjamins in your wallet with a diesel and a heavy load behind you. It always made me wonder why they put the 5.7, new generation Hemi in a heavy pickup. That Hemi wants some RPM. It wants to giddy up and bookie and go. That's not what you want in a truck. I don't know. I think that was all about marketing. Wrong BRG? Okay, no problem. I figured it was one of us in there. And did I miss him? I hope you're still in here, BRG. Happy Father's Day to you, man. Looked like you had a heck of a good time on Power Tour. Parker Hoffman is the brand that most of the competitors in Parker too. And most of the Oh, get caught back up there. All right. There we go. Oh, we got Brian in Dust Devil's Garage. What's going on? Happy Father's Day to you, man. And we got Jason in the house. What's going on, Jason's Garage? YouTube channel Driving for Answers made a great video on diesel about 2 weeks ago. Recommended. Sweet. Secret to a diesel motor is keep her right in the happy zone, which is usually about 2,000 RPM. Set that as your limit and do everything you can to keep that tack right around in that happy little zone right there. And they will just sip the fuel as they go. And they got plenty enough torque to just pull whatever you're looking to pull. That's where the Cummins just shines, because the straight six. That's what a straight six loves to do: turn slow and pull hard. The V8s, like the Power Strokes and the Duramaxes, they got to have a little RPM to get the torque moving on them. So, the more RPM you got to have, the more you got to feed it. But Power Stroke or Duramax, speed-wise, will walk all over a Cummins. Hey, Sidewinder, what's going on? Great to see you, man.
Good to see you, buddy. Happy Father's Day. Hippin' flies.
Happy Father's Day to you, too, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I just figured I'd hop on here real quick, man. And, yeah, appreciate you watching the videos and seeing me struggle with that, transmission. Geez. That's, it's been a long time since I pulled an automatic transmission, about 25 years. But my old 89 Ford, I had that old 5-speed in and out, and that was with a transfer case on it. These things are heavy.
Oh, Lord, yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially with that big old transfer case hanging out there.
Yeah, I got that off now. I did pull that off. But yeah, I was looking at it, and the casing on the for the overdrive unit, right where it bolts on, from one of the ears all the way across the top. That's as far as I can see. I'm still cleaning the grease off of it. But right where it bolts to the back of the transmission itself, that's all cracked.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
Like I
let me
said,
turn this fan off. This
generally
I
caused from bad mounts.
It's one of those big industrial fans, and I couldn't hear a damn thing. Yeah, I'm out in the shed right now because you know, the way my luck's been running has just been terrific, man. The AC in the house quit working, and it's almost 90 some odd degrees in the house. So I came out in the shed where it's only about 80 degrees to get cool. But anyway, but I figure I'm gonna go ahead and rebuild the top part of that transmission anyway, since I got it out, and I'll see what I can do about finding the overdrive.
That's a good learning experience. And
Yeah,
that one's pretty simple still. You know, that one's not a complicated transmission.
that's a good thing because I'm not that smart. That's awesome. That'll work. That'll work. But yeah, you guys, you know,
When it
talking
comes,
about. I'm sorry, sir. What?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say I didn't mean to change the subject. Y'all were talking about your diesels and everything, and
Yeah.
you know, I have a lot of respect for diesels. I like them at work. You know, I'm a truck driver, so of course I love the diesels and everything. But for my own personal vehicles, yeah, I just love the gas. I love the gasoline engine. You know, it's just personal preference. There ain't nothing wrong with the diesel. Like I said, I've been around them between the military, driving a truck, and everything else. Uh, yeah, but I love the diesels. You can't beat them, especially
They
the
shine
old ones, the old
heavy load.
mechanical injected ones.
Yeah. Super, super, super simple.
Oh yeah,
A blind man with a crescent wrench can overhaul one.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, back in the day, you know, pulling the whole pack out of a track vehicle out of the tank, we got that down to about pulling one out and putting one in. You know, it's easy enough. It's a swap. We got that down to about 2 hours out in the field. Now, if we were back in the motor pool, we could get it done in about an hour and a half, and that was lollygagging around. But and with the old Macs that I used to drive, you know, those were all the old Powerdyne engines that they had, the old Mac engines. Real simple. And the nice thing about it being simple is if this 2020 Freightliner that I have with has a Cummins in it,
Uh-huh.
that is broke down more than the old 1973 Mac with the
Yep.
Powerdyne in it. It is broke down more than that thing ever did. I will say, when the Powerdyne broke down, it broke down. It wasn't
Oh.
kidding. It wasn't kidding. There were pieces all over the floor, you know, all over the ground. It wasn't kidding when it broke down. But there was no little whiny, oh, I don't feel good, one of my sensors isn't working or up to date and shut off type deal. No, that thing would run itself until it blew up.
And that's the way all them old diesels are.
Oh yeah.
You know, when they wore completely out, they wore completely out.
Oh yeah. There we go. I'll block the light here with my fat head a little bit. I'm using my phone. Like I said, I'm not using the computer. I'm out in the shed with the phone right now. So it's my backup system. I think, yeah, I missed you last week, buddy, because again, things were busy. But how you been doing?
Oh, not too bad. Slowly starting to come back into the normal, or a vague semblance of normality, I guess you could say.
Oh, I got you. I got you. I'll tell you what. Yeah, yeah. Last 4 days, I've been complaining, even sometimes on my live streams and my videos that I'm out of shape and everything. Well, I'll tell you what. The last 4 days, I got a hell of a workout. It's beats a gym membership, that's for sure. And to be honest with you, I thought I'd be laid up and in traction right now, but I'm actually feeling pretty good. Now, come 3 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'll probably be singing a different tune, but right now I'm feeling pretty good. Tired, but feeling pretty good.
I got way too much sun over the weekend. Oh my Lord, I got fried. Luckily, I was smart and I wore pants. I was going to wear shorts to the show, and I thought, I better wear pants.
Yeah, it's
but
like
my
wife.
lips got sunburned, my face got sunburned. Ooh. I got a nice farmer's tan.
Like out in the, working on the truck out in the driveway and everything. And the wife was like, "Why don't you put some shorts on? You'll feel so much better." I'm like, "Sweetheart, do you realize I'm Irish? Okay, that's only going to work for 30 seconds, and then I'm just going to burst into flames." I said, "I'll be as red as my Snap-on toolbox, I said, no, I'll suffer through with long pants. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm pretty much Scott Swede, so yeah.
Oh, same situation, yeah.
Sun, yeah, we burst into flames. We don't tan, we just poof.
Yeah,
spontaneously combust.
I mean, look, I've been wearing short sleeves all my life, okay? And by August, after the third burn on my arms, then I'll start to darken up. But literally, I go from pasty white to lobster red. There's there's no shade in between. There's not even a nice little pink, And
in between, you got the peeling.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. What's wrong with you? I'm Irish. That's what's wrong with me. I was out in the sun for 45 seconds instead of 30. So my skin is falling off.
Oh. It's all good, though. Beats being inside.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. But anyway, again, I'm going to keep this one short, Kim, because
no problem. You're welcome anytime, brother.
I'm beat, buddy, and I just want to pop in and say hi. I'm surviving. I'm still here.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, buddy. You take care, man.
Yet, man.
Yep, that's it. You take care.
Good to see you. Happy Father's Day, man. Yeah, they choked them things up with all the emission stuff, sadly. And then the mileage went down on them. I'm Scottish, only takes one burn of the year, and then it's dark tan the rest of the year. Oh, sweet. I got the other side of it. I'm quite astonished by a couple of YouTubers in Utah wearing jeans in 100-degree weather. Yeah, if you've been to Utah, you know why. Same thing. Oh, Lord. If you ever get a chance, go through Utah. Yeah, you'll see the population there is made up with a lot of very white people, like or I guess you'd call it melon challenged now, I guess. People. And you got to be careful in Utah. There's not a whole lot of shade. It's primarily a desert state. And yeah, every little rock, every little bit of sand, everything in Utah just reflects that and magnifies them sun rays. Yeah, I know why they're wearing jeans all the time. Hey, JV, there you are. Good to see you, man. We just talking about you. Good to see you're spending some time with the family. Happy Father's Day to you. And thanks again for that video you put out on the sharpening. That was really cool. Your timing was impeccable. Yeah, the deserts in Utah. Utah's an interesting state. The term safety third, yeah, that's Utah for you there. They got a lot of extreme hiking in Utah, through the desert, through the Mojave, all Zion National Park, the Monuments Park, where you see all the mesas and arches and real beautiful landscape in Utah. But like I said, they take safety third very serious. When you're out there on your own. And lots of people die in Utah. Oddly enough, in Mojave, through all of those beautiful sandstone canyons and everything, a lot of people drowned. It's every year in Mojave, about 2 or 3 people die a month from flash floods through there. And you're kind of on your own out there. So if you're ever going into Utah, I highly recommend it to everybody. Check out those places. They're beautiful. But be careful, and you got to put it in your head that the safety is responsibilities on you, not the state of Utah. If you're lucky, they'll find you and put you in a bag and send you back to your family. I knew my ears was burning. Somewheres I got a video that I never did publish. I actually talked to my friend Pete about that video, and oh, I should post it. We were hiking to the arch, the main arch. It's called Delicate Arch. You ever seen a Utah license plate? It's got the sandstone arch on the license plate. Well, it's a very famous arch, and the big, it's a long hike out to it. And if you go, it's really cool to see. But what they don't show on the license plate and any of the pictures that you see of the Delicate Arch, it's about a 200-foot drop off on both sides. And you stand in the middle of the arch to get your picture taken. You pretty much stand on a razor's edge. And it's sandstone. Sandstone is just, it's stone by name only. It's just slightly hardened sand. So it's slippery as all get out. And if you slide off the backside, like I said, it's about a 100-foot drop all the way off the canyon cliff wall. If you slip off the front side of it, well, it's a little bit shallower, so it'll give you a lot more time to think about what's going to happen as you fall off the edge. And it's about 50, 60 feet straight down into the rocks. And you just, people die there all the time. Oh, anyway, we hiked up there to it. And on the front face of it, it's a big washout. It looks like a giant toilet bowl that all goes down to a big hole right in the center that just drops straight off into nothingness. You look down, you see the tops of the trees down there. Anyway, to climb up into it, you got to climb up, and then there's a rock ledge all the way around that drops off about 6 feet down into this sculpted in. I compare it to like Star Wars, the Sarlacc pit. on Return of Jedi. It's a lot like that. And it, like I said, it's all sandstone. Just it's rock by name only. It's slick as heck. So you drop off this rock ledge onto that toilet bowl, and then you walk the toilet bowl all the way around to the arch, and then you can get your pictures or whatever underneath the arch if you survive. We hiked all the way up there to do it. Like I said, I'm scared to death. I'm shaking just talking about it. I'm scared to death of heights anyway. And there's just lines of people. It's a very, very popular thing to go do. There's hundreds of people that go out there, and you kind of got to stand in line all the way out, you know, to get in there. Well, I forced myself to do it. I walked all the way out there. This is a long story. I should just do the video. We walked out there, got our pictures taken and everything, and like, okay, let's get the hell out of here. Let's go back. Okay, so we hiked all the way back around the rim, and I was going to go. There's a little spot where it's a little easier to get down. Well, there's a lot of people there, and they're trying to get under the arch, and everybody's kind of crowding. This Oriental couple, Asian couple, I guess you should say now, they were kind of in a hurry, and I obviously didn't speak English, and they were trying to, you know, get up to the arch. So they were coming off of that rock face down, and I was coming around this way, and they were anyway. The little gal that was coming down first, she was sliding off of her butt down off of these rocks to come down. I was right there, and she, just as she went, her feet hit that toilet bowl sand part, and she started to slide, and I slammed her into the rocks and held her up against the rocks, keep her from going. And I looked up, and her husband, boyfriend, whoever it was, he was sliding on, doing the same thing, doing the butt scoot down to try to ease down onto there. And he slid off and came down and hit her, you know, his feet caught her shoulders, and I grabbed his foot and just, oh, fuck. I don't know why it was just a, you know, instant reaction. They were there. She was sliding. I just body slammed her into the rock and held her there. And when he came down, I was, oh, yeah. Without thinking, I did that. And it was thinking back, and I went, as a, you know, after it was over with, I thought about it. That was the dumbest thing I could have done, because I'm a little itty bitty guy. I don't know why she didn't take me and him, all three of us, and slide down off the, you know, man, I was shaking just thinking about it. Anyway, it all worked out. Nobody got hurt. Oh, I helped him down. I helped her down. They were just sliding up against the rocks and making ourselves as sticky as possible to there. I'll never go back there. I got pictures under the arch, and that was good enough. That's good enough for me. But if you want an adventure, yeah. But be very, very careful getting down into the toilet bowl that leads you out to that arch if you so desire to try to attempt that. And then I went back and told Pete about it, because he lives there in Mohawk. And he said, oh yeah, we was up there in the spring when there was a little bit of snow still on there, and come to find out that 4 people slid off, and yeah, they died on there. And after Pete had already been there and they were coming back, I guess the party had, after he was climbing back, was yeah, they slid off and they died. And it happens there all the time. Oh, anyway. Oh, that was a hard video to make, and like I said, I never did post it. Maybe I will. Yeah, it's just a video of me telling that story. Now that I've done it, maybe I'll post. I don't know. What the heck? I watch off-road coverage in Utah. Yeah, I've met that guy. He's a pretty cool guy. He's got that old International, bright yellow painted, kind of a rock crawler tow truck. And I met him again in Vegas at the Maverick gas station in Vegas. I was stopped there getting gas, and he pulled in on the pump 2 stalls down to get fuel. I guess he was doing a recovery in Nevada, which is, you know, just operates right there in that area. Very cool guy, though. But again, I can't recommend going to southern Utah enough for everybody. It's beautiful there. And if you do go to Mohawk, what's it called? Canyonlands is actually the best. I enjoyed myself the most in Mohawk in Canyonlands. You got to kind of see where the Grand Canyon starts. And it's just thousands and thousands of rainbow colored canyons that twist and go everywhere. Really, really cool. Anyway, that's enough of that. There is an elderly couple in Utah that will be moving here to Michigan. Oh, way cool. Big, thick German accent. There's a lot of German people in people of German descent in Utah. Very nice people. All of the people in Utah, I've very, very nice and very good people. Never really had much of an issue with anybody down there that I could think of. Just everybody's very much still got the old pioneer attitude, though. Yeah. Safety third, big time. And you're responsible for your own safety, big time. The Grand Canyon was your most favorite vacation? Sweet. That trip, when we took the hike out there and everything, we were actually going to go all the way to the Grand Canyon, which isn't too far from Mohawk. It's kind of in that corner there. But we spent too long in Mohawk. It was, yeah, that's a cool place. And we hiked all over everywhere that we could with the amount of time we had. And I stopped in to see my friend Pete, or he also goes by DIY Auto School. 2 great channels. Same guy, just, you know, he's got 2 channels. Can't recommend his stuff enough. Stopped in there to say hi to him, shake a hand, make a friend. Like he says all the time. Great guy. I was expecting to just stop in there, meet him, say hi, thanks, you know, for doing all your videos and everything. And we ended up talking almost all day. It was a good time. Him and the Minnie the body shop girl. Oh, his wife. Oh, she is a doll. I lived in South Dakota for 12. The Badlands are a lot the same. Same, you know, they're all white colored in the Badlands, but yeah, beautiful place there too. We have a place here in Idaho called the City of Rocks, which is kind of like the Badlands, but they're salt formations that resemble what you see in the Badlands. But the Badlands and the Black Hills are two parts of South Dakota that are just beautiful. I think there's at least 2-year wait on the mule. Oh, really? I don't know if I could do that. Like I said, yeah, being scared of heights like I am, I don't know if I could trust a mule all the way down. By the time I got to the bottom, I'd be such a nervous wreck that I'd have to build a cabin down there because that's where I'd live. There'd be no way you get me back on another mule to get back up there. Well, like I said, I got my link post up there. If anybody wants to pop on in, pop on in. Yeah, the rest of South Dakota is pretty much flat. Flat and windy. Oh my goodness. And in the wintertime, oh, that wind that comes down through Canada. Oh, in central South Dakota. Oh, it is brutal. Absolutely brutal. That's a freeway that they'll shut down for wind advisory. They got great big gates out on the freeway, and they'll close it even for wind that just comes straight from the north down. Oh, blows semi trucks right over. Yep, and if you got time to think about it on the way down, you know it's either going to hurt really bad or it's only going to hurt for just that long. Oof. I've been watching my friend Pete for years, back when he was doing VW stuff. Great guy, that he is. When I first went to work at the resto shop, that's when I really got heavy on his videos. I got hired there to do all the grease stuff, the engine, the mechanical stuff. But old Rex, he was pushing me more and more into body work. And like I've told everybody, I'm not a body man by any means. Boy, I watched my friend Pete's videos hardcore, trying to learn and absorb as much as I possibly could. And plus, you know, learning from Rex and everything. Yeah. That's why I had to stop in and thanked him for all those videos that he did. And he knows his stuff. It's spot on. He uses a little colorful language every now and then, or I like to call them colorful adjectives. But great guy. Big guy, too. Holy cow. He blew me away when he answered the door. Pete's a big guy. I swear, he's 9 foot tall. But one of the most down-to-earth, good, real good people you ever meet in your life. I had a really good time with him and his wife. I still think, oh, he stuck a guitar in my hand. He's actually a musician too. Pete's a man of many hats and many, many talents. I was so nervous, though. I couldn't strum a note. Oh, it was embarrassing. I guess he had another channel too, where he restores and paints guitars, and guy's very talented. What you see on YouTube is just a sliver. He even had his own reality show there for a while. What was it called? Tough Love Garage or something? Yep, his early auto body videos were fun to watch. He would show you the and everything else. Holds nothing back. That's right. I like people like that. He's one of the people that has no filter, so you know they're not lying to you because they can't lie. Yeah, and a lot of his stuff, even though it's old school, it works way better than a lot of the new stuff you see. You know, new products and stuff that skip steps. Well, you skip steps and then you end up with problems down the road. A lot of that old way of doing it still applies, and it still works very well. Reminds me of all the advice I got from my good friend Daryl. He's the old body shop guy that lives just kitty corner over from my dad. I grew up with Daryl all my life. He got his first job as a body, fresh out of trade school, working for the GM dealership, I believe it was, back when wraparound windshields were still on, being sold. He's the one that told me the secret to those wraparound windshields on, how to get ones that fit and how to get them to set in, rope them in, and the tricks you got to do to make them work. A porter power becomes your best friend. I'm actually kind of glad they got the wraparound windshield. Looks cool and everything, but yeah, I'm kind of glad they got away from that. Not one will be the same. Every one of those windshields that you order will be different, because as the glass cools, they change. So sometimes you gotta either pull those A-pillars in, or the dog legs as they're called. Gotta either pull them in or push them out to match whatever windshield you're going to be, you've ordered. Because there's no way they can make it standard, because as they, when they stick the two pieces of glass together and then they heat it up to bend it and curve it around like that, when it cools, that glass moves all over the place. And yeah, they're fun to get to mount in there and then hold in there with the rubber and the rubber gasket and everything. They can be real fun. Anyway, let's see. We've been on about an hour and a half. We'll go about another half hour. And like I said, Anybody wants to hop on in. I got the link posted on up there. Other than that, we'll just sit here and keep babbling and talking about whatever we want to talk about. And for those of you just joining in, like I said in the description on this live, next week, I'm going to kind of extend Father's Day all week long. I'm going to be up at my dad's shop. We're going to bring Sir Rat, our dually rat rod, back into the shop, and we're going to give it a little attitude adjustment. I've loaned him the tunnel ram because my car's going to be a little ways off before she's up and driving. So I figured, let's stick it on the rat rod because the engine that's in Sir Rat, it's already got the cam, it's already got the compression, everything. That engine is already set up for a tunnel ram. So we'll go ahead and toss that in there, and I'll show you how we set up dual carb, how we set up tunnel ram, how we'll do the timing. Plus, we'll be changing out the gears in the, let's see, that's a Dana 70 utility axle. It's same as any other Dana though. We're going to be pulling those they're 350 something gears that are in it now. They're way tall, and sticking a set of 456s in it. So I'll walk you through I'm going to actually have him on the camera this time, showing you how we set up a rear end, all that stuff. So that's all the stuff that I got in the making for all this next week. Kind of a last hoorah's father-son project. And he doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to change the shifter in it. As one of the things I never did like about that truck is the shifter that we used in it. We used a shifter out of a 66 Mustang with a C4 in it, and we adapted it for a C6. Well, the problem with that is the C6, the shift arm for the linkage. Well, first of all, on a C6, they never made a floor shifter for it that was manual. Everything was cable operated. So if you go to a C6 and try to hook a hard linkage floor shifter up to it, they didn't make a floor shifter for it. So everything, for the C6 was cable operated. So what I got, and the shifter that we put in it is for a C4 that was hard linkage to it. We got it really close. I can adjust it in to where it'll hold in the detent in park. Reverse doesn't though. It rides on the top of by detents, like they're on the shifter. It's like cogs like this, and the button that you got to push just to activate the shifter, it's got a talking technical on lives. Yeah, there's no edit on this. Anyway, when it goes into park, it drops down, the lever drops down into the cog, so it locks it into park. Then you pull up on the lever and it comes up on the cog on the wheel, on the, if you will, and then it drops it down into reverse, so you can't accidentally push it up, or it can't accidentally pop out of park and go into reverse. Well, the way it's set up now with that C4 shifter, reverse sets up on top of that cog, so you can grab it and it'll bounce down in all the way down into low gear, first gear, if you will. It doesn't catch the other detents. It does hold in park though. Neutral, it fits down into that one good and sets down on to that cog in the wheel, I guess you could say. Drive, it does set down in, but you can't pull it all the way down into low one with the setup that it's got. Making a short story long here. So I'm going to take that shifter out, and I found a B&M ratchet shifter that I'm going to stick in its place and run the cable and all of that stuff. Just do away with that retro C4 Mustang shifter. So that's the other piece that I'll be doing on it. Dad's kind of against that one though, because he really likes he liked the old Mustang that shifter came out of, and it's kind of a memory piece for him, and well, it's just not right. I don't it eats at me every time I look at the truck. I think about that shifter not being right, so I'm gonna fix it. Whether he likes it or not, I'm gonna do it. Dad, if you're watching, we're doing it. Happy Father's Day. Here's a shifter. So that's the stuff we got coming for next week. Any of you got any questions or anything? Anything we're working on all week long? If not, I think we'll go ahead and close her up a little early and let you all get back to your families and your fathers here on Father's Day. Sometimes change is good, but it takes time to get used to. And this truck's changing quite a bit. Like I said, the way we built it on textbook is wrong. The rear end, the rear gear ratio does not match the cam that's in it, but we did it the way that we did it to make it right, if that makes sense. By doing what we've done to it, we proved that we can get over 20 miles per gallon out of a 460. That was primarily what we were doing. Of course, the truck only weighs 2,800 pounds. So that helps a whole bunch too. But and with the ratio that we're running, like I said, about 80 mile an hour, she's running about 2,500 RPM, 2,600 RPM, right around in there. So she's just slow rolling and sipping the fuel. But to get her to perform, you kind of have to know how to drive that truck to make her perform. You got to get that tack up there. And when she does, she comes alive. But anybody else gets in the truck, it would be a dog. And it kind of is off the line because it's not made for that. But yeah, we're gonna change it up and put the bark back in the bite. Might just be time to try to be a father again. There's always time for that. Damien is working on reshingling the back. Hey, is he still roofing? Oh man, that poor guy. And I've been working on laying the laminate floor in the bus. Oh. You guys got your work cut out for you. Great seeing you, Mohawk. Thanks for coming in, man. You betcha. Hey, Johnny C. Good to see you, and happy Father's Day to you too, man. And with that, like I said, I think we'll go ahead and cut her out a little early this week and let everybody get back in with their families. And to all the dads out there, big old happy Father's Day to everybody. And be good to get out there and get some metal hot on this good old Father's Day. Or you can do like I'm going to do and just kind of extend it all week long. Thanks for coming, everybody. And we'll do this again next week. And all week long, we'll catch you on the next one.